Hey everyone, welcome back to JavaScript Deep Dive. I'm Madan Mohan, and today's episode we are going to explore operators and conditional statements in JavaScript. Understanding these concepts is fundamental to making decisions and performing calculations in your code. Let's start with operators. Operators are simply the symbols we use to perform operations. JavaScript has several types of operators. Let's start with arithmetic operators. These are the operators which we use in order to perform mathematical calculations. So we do addition, subtractions, right? In JavaScript, in order to perform mathematical calculations, we are going to use these arithmetic operators. Let's start with the plus. For example, I want to add two numbers. Let's say a equals to 5 equals to 10. Now I have two variables and I need a sum of these two numbers. I'm saying c equals to a plus b. So I want to perform addition on these two numbers. See here the plus symbol is an operator and a and b are operands. So technically a and b are operands and plus is a operator. Let me console this C in order to see the output. Let me open the console, save this. Let me remove the debuggers. You can see the output is 15. Similar way, if I want to do the subtraction, you can see it is minus 5. And we have one more which is multiplication. In order to do the multiplication, we use this asterisk. Okay? Let's see the output here. 5 multiplied by 10. Let's perform division. In order to perform the division, we use slash here. 5 divided by 10, which is zero point 0.5. Similar way, we have a modulus, a percentage of b. So the output is 5. Whenever we perform a division, a remainder would be printed if you use this modulus symbol. Similar way, we have a exponential, which is double asterisk, which indicates a to the power of b here. For your understanding, see this 5 to the power of 2. That means 5 into 5, right? 25. Similar to this, we have increment and decrement operators. So for the arithmetic operators that we have seen are used with two variables, but these increment and decrement operators can be used with a single variable. Let's see, a plus plus, which is equals to a plus 1. This is what it means. When I say a plus 1, what it will be? It will be 6. Just because a is 5, it will be 6, right? So the shortest way of doing it is a plus plus, console log of a plus plus. But if you see, the output is only 5, just because I used plus plus operator after a, right? Let me rewrite this one in the next line, which is plus plus a. So we technically call this as a post increment, and this one is a pre increment. That means before the execution, the number would be incremented by 1 and then it will get printed. But in this case, the actual number would get printed and then it will be incremented. That's the difference. Now you can see first console is printed with the value 5. Why? Because the actual value of a is 5, right? So in line number 5, a will get printed and then it will be incremented by 1. Then it move on to line number 6. So at line number 6, the a value would be 6. And when I added plus plus, 6 would be plus 1, which is 7, and 7 got printed. That's how this post increment and pre increment works. Similar way, we have minus minus as well. Post decrement and pre decrement. These two also will work in a similar way. Actual value will get printed and it will be then minus 1. So when it comes to line number 6, this a would turn out to be 4 and again minus 1, which will be 3. So these are the arithmetic operators. With this, we'll move on to assignment operators in JavaScript. So these assignment operators will be used in order to assign values to the variables. So the first one is an assign operator which is equals to, so which we already used. Let a is equals to 5. In this case, whatever the value which is on the right hand side will get assigned to the variable on the left. So a would get assigned with the value 5. So that's how we use equals operator. Along this we have add and assign. Let me do it here. A plus equals to 4. Remove the console for now and save it. I can see the 5 will get added with the value 4 and the total value 9 has got printed. Similar way we can even do the subtraction as well. So 5 minus 4, and we can do the multiplication using asterisk. So it will be multiplied, and even division is 1.25, and even modulus also can be performed. These are the assignment operators. Next, we'll see comparison operators in JavaScript. So these comparison operators will be used to compare two values. For example, here a value is 5 and b value is 2. I want to compare these two, saying that whether a is equals to b or not. So in that case, I'll use a double equals to b. Let's see the output. It is showing false. A double equals to b. What it does is it will compare the value 5 with 2, whether these two values are equal or not. As we know, 5 is not equals to 2. It is showing false. Let me make this 5. It is showing true. Similar way we have triple equals to. So in this case it not just try to check these two values, but the type of the values also. If you see, a equals to 5, 5 and 5 are numbers, right? So at this moment, even if I use triple equals to here, it is showing true, right? Let me make this a string and check. Now it turned out to be false. Now just because it is a string and it is a number, so number is not equals to string, that's the reason it is showing false. Similar way we have, let me revert it to the number. Let's say I use 10 here, and a is not equals to b. It is true. So in order to write not equals to, we use exclamatory followed by equals to. So it means a not equals to b. Just because a is not equals to b, here it is showing true. Similar way we use double equals to, which is a strict mode. Just like how we use triple equals to in order to check not just the values but the type. Similar way here we have strict check for not equals to as well. And along with it we have a greater than. A is greater than b, which shows false here. If I use less than, obviously it shows true. And we even have greater than or equals to and less than or equals to. So these are the different type of comparison operators we have. Based on our requirement, we are going to use these while you are writing programming in JavaScript. Now with this, let's move on to logical operators in JavaScript. These logical operators will be used to combine multiple conditions. Let me show you an example. Let's say has ticket, for example, false. These are the two variables we have, right? Now let me use logical end. For example, I want to console log is adult. Logical end of has ticket. Let's see the output first. Output is showing false. That means if both sides are true, then only it returns true. If you wanna see, let me make it true. If any of the operand is false, then the output would be false. So similar to AND, we have logical OR, which will be written like this. So this is completely opposite. At least one operand should be true. Just because we have one true over here, the output would be true. If in case both are false, then the output would be false. If any one is true, then it returns true. That is logical or similar way we have logical not. Let's say is adult, it simply reverses the actual value. So is adult is true, right? So output would be false. Similar way, if it is false, then it returns true. So these are the logical operators in JavaScript. Next, let's talk about conditional statements. Conditional statements allow you to execute different blocks of code based on certain conditions. For example, I want to return an output based on a specific condition. That means if a condition is met, then only a specific thing should be printed. Let age equals to 18. You all know in order to cast a vote, the eligibility is 18 years. So I want to check this condition. If age is 18 or above, then I want to print you are eligible to cast the vote. If age is less than 18, then it should say you are ineligible. In order to do that, if A is greater than or equals to 18, then console.log of. Now it is showing you're eligible to vote. What if it is 15? It is showing nothing. Just because age is not greater than or equals to 18, it won't go inside this block. So that's why you see nothing here. But my requirement is if it is less than or equals to 18, I want to print you are ineligible. In that case, else will come into the picture. Else, in case age is less than or equal to 18, of course this block will not be executed. That's why if you use else, it will go to the next block. Whatever you have written inside this else block will be printed over here. Let's see that. Console.log of you are ineligible to vote. I can see it will simply go to the else block and it got printed. For example, if you want to check two more conditions, here we have only two conditions, right? If it is greater than or equals to 18, else this one. So if you want to check two more conditions, in that case we'll use else if. Let's see, score is 85 for example, and if score is greater than or equals to 90, then I want to see grade A. So it is score, right? The second condition is if the score is greater than or equals to 80, else if score is greater than or equals to 80, then you need to see grade B. If it is greater than or equals to 70, else if score is greater than or equals to 70, grade C. Let's say if it is less than 70, grade should be F. Last one should be else. Console.log grade is F. Let's save this and see. It is showing grade B. Why? Because the score is equals to 85. What if it is 99? The grade is A. And let me add number 60 here, showing grade F. So in case if you want to check multiple conditions, it is more than two. If you want to check just two conditions, in that case, if score is greater than or equals to 90, grade A. If not, I want grade F. In that case, if and else would be fine. But I'm just checking multiple conditions here, right? That's the reason you need to use else if in between, and the last one should be else. Along with this, we have switch statement as well. So in order to demonstrate switch, let's take an example. Let day is equals to 5 for example. Switch syntax would be like this: switch off day brackets cases would be there here. These cases are like, if day equals to 1, what should be printed? If day is equals to 2, what should be printed? That's how it will be. If day is equals to 1, then console.log of Monday. If it is 1, I need to say Monday, and followed by break. Once a particular case is done, I need to add a break, followed by next case. Case is equals to 2, console.log of Tuesday, and then break and default. So at the end of the switch, we'll write default. In case none of the cases are true, then the last one would get printed, which is a default one. Let write console.log of another day. I missed the colon here. Let me save this. You can see it is showing Tuesday just because day is equals to 2. Let's make it 1 and see it as Monday. In case of I add 9, you can see the default would be get printed. This is how the switch syntax would be. So in order to check multiple cases, if you want, you can write multiple cases in between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is how we'll write the switch statement. Let's now look at some real world scenarios which are also common interview questions. For example, what happens when you add a number to a string in JavaScript? Let number equals to 5. So this is a numeric value, right? Let me take a string, for example Madan. What if I try to add these two? Let's see, console.log of number plus str. What will be the output? Let me refresh. 5 Madan. In this case, JavaScript converts a number to a string and concatenates them. That's the reason you are seeing 5 Madan. What if you do the subtraction? Let's say I'm changing this to 10 and I want to perform subtraction. Let's see what happens. See, it is showing -5 just because whenever you try to perform the subtraction, in this case the string would be converted into a number. That's the reason 5 minus 10 is -5. Let's see with boolean. I'm saying true here, and just try to add the boolean value with the string. It is showing true 10. So in this case, boolean true is converted to a string and concatenate with 10. That's the reason true 10 is the output. That's it for today's episode on operators and conditional statements in JavaScript. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with latest episodes. Leave your questions and feedback in the comments below. Happy coding and see you in the next episode of JavaScript Deep Dive.